Hi everyone, this is Carolyn with Stitching in the Delta, and welcome back to today's Flosstube. You may need to turn up your volume. My voice is very slight today. So we have had the flu, which is not fun, and so I'm just trying to do my best to recover and all that stuff. So it's been very entertaining, not really, having the flu with a toddler. Yeah, okay. So I wanted to record my latest episode about a few finishes, my January finishes, and some upcoming plans. So yeah, okay. I never got a chance to show this back in December and didn't want to show it in my WIP parade, but this is my fully finished December stitch, which was Blackboard Design Christmas Rose. There we go. Yeah, huge glare on it. So, yeah. I got it framed at Hobby Lobby, and I've been using this particular frame lately from them. I think it looks really great, and the way that it's curved on the inside, that's why the glare, and I'm holding it this way. It's got a little curve on the inside, so this flat part feels like there's a mat, and I like to mat things because I like that nice clean edge and then the frame. But this has been really a cool frame, plus that little edging there. I really like that. Anyway, so Christmas Rose, I started that umpteen years ago. Don't remember. Yeah. Let's see if I can find it. 2021. I had started it on 32 count. I was absolutely not happy, and it was year of 21 was several things that I bought or that I started on 32. I was moving from 28 to 32, and my goal was to get to 40, but due to eyesight I ended up on 36, and which was fine. Use readers and I can do 36, and I'm starting now my next move to 40 count, so we're great. So that was started in 21. I had started it on 32 count, restarted on 36 count, and then I ditched it, left it, and then back at the Jingle Ball, or right before the Jingle Ball, I pulled that out, and that was my Jingle Ball stitch, and then finished it throughout the month of December, which was fun. Called for Weeks Dye Works on 36 count Wren. Yay. There's that. Okay, January. Moving on. My blessing sampler. Now I'm doing air quotes blessing sampler because I completely believe that nothing was going to happen to me if I did not finish it. No problem. But my goal for January was to do one, and I chose Jane Parson from The Wishing Thorn, and so I started her on January 1st and finished it. Oh, I didn't even put a date on here. I did not put a date. January 24th was the day that I finished. That was when I got my post up on the Facebook pages. Or the groups that I'm in. I'm sorry. Got a hair. Vintage Country Mocha, 36 count. We had marked this for stash because this was a rescued piece. There was a big chunk and then a little sliver on the side. I still have that little sliver on the side. It may become useful for something. I don't know. Anyway, called for DMC for the dark or the bright backside. Now this one is cool. The Wishing Thorn puts options for several different types of thread for this piece. I think it was like the wool threads, and there may have been a silk option, and then 2 DMC colorways. So for the light front and then the bright back. So I have this up on my wool mat. There she is, Jane Parson. Oh, isn't she pretty? Oh, there we go. Isn't she pretty? I fell in love with her when I first saw her posted. You see her, the Wishing Thorn ads on Facebook, and this one ran for a while. And I just went, I want that one. I want her in my life. Now, I'm not one to really change out colors. However, I wish I had changed out this light yellow because those are ghosting too much for me, but I don't care. I don't care at this point. And the white in the trees. I don't like stitching white. Anyway, there's Jane Parson. That was a, wool mat's kind of heavy. So, let's talk about 101. Look at those little 1/1. Look at those little strawberries. I got those done in about 4 days, concentrated, played some historical nonfiction drama episodes of something on YouTube about the Salem witch trials. And then witch trials throughout England. And then ended up down a rabbit hole on Victorian murder cases. And then Jack the Ripper. And then back around to Salem witch trials. For 101, 1/1 stitching. So if that's how you need to get through things, that's how you need to get through things, because it's very concentrated, and the right, whichever side of the brain does the stitching needed to do this, and the other side of the brain needed to be highly entertained, but not with things that took my hands. If that makes sense to you as well. She is going to the Framers today, so we're headed over there in a little while after I get done filming this, and I'm very excited. So she is her pattern is available as a PDF on the Wishing Thorn's Etsy website. That's where I got it, and it's a nice PDF. It was 4 pages, clearly written, had a little overlap, I believe. When I print my PDFs, I don't print the covers, so you can save ink that way, and I just do black and white, no problem. But it was an easy to read pattern. It wasn't small. Yeah, so that was my blessing sampler. I'm so happy. So blessing samplers, the idea is that you do a sampler starting January 1st and you finish it by the end of January. So you really need to choose something that's doable, that you have all the skills, or unless you want to learn a new skill. I did not read the pattern correctly, and so I did not know that it had 1/1. I have another piece that I'm working on that I was learning 1/1 on, and completely on the struggle bus. And so when I hit that part and went, few choice words, yeah, I just pulled up my big girl pants and did it. Now, in the meantime, towards the end of that, at some point, we had a trip to Conway, Arkansas, to an antique show kind of thing, big antique show in their convo center. it's a vendor show, or I don't know, antique stores brought stuff. And we stopped at, so we made a week, kind of a weekend overnight trip of it. And chance to get away. So I got dear husband to stop at the shop in Conway, Sticher's Garden, and Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock the next day. But in Conway, we picked up the materials for a piece that he wanted me to do. Let me grab the, well, I have the pattern. There we go. Which is called Poe the Raven. And it was by the Witchy Sticher, also on Etsy. So he got me the Forbidden, I think it's Forbidden Fibers, has the printed, I don't have the tag anymore, has the printed linen, so we got that. And he did not want it all done in black. It is charted to be all done in 310 black, which is not my cup of tea. And so he actually chose a very nice palette of over-dyed threads. I was very proud of him. There we go. Very nice palette of over-dyed threads to go on top of the luscious linen. And he did a very good job doing that. Our daughter actually picked out this green for him, meaning she just grabbed it off the rack. Because, you know, 2-year-olds do that. Anyway. I may, if, I probably will try to put or list the colors down in the description box so that if anybody would like to do kind of what I did, you at least have the colors. I wanted to do it in silk since I was spending a lot of money on this, but he wanted those colors, so that's okay. We spent some time playing in the silk anyway, and that's okay. And on the wool mat, if you don't have a wool mat, I love mine. I use mine for ironing, and I ironed all my stuff on it. So there she is. We did put a little eye in the raven at the top. So, just to go through the colors on it. Wrought iron. Gentle Arts was the top of the fence. Now down here, the little grassy looking thing is done at a different color, as well as the bottom of the fence. I kind of made it a little green, kind of like ivy was growing up, or a little mossy color. And I also used the wrought iron in the tombstone itself for the etching, kind of the black on the etching, except for the bottom row. I did the bottom row also in the same black green that I'm going to tell you in a minute. Our next color, Steamed Broccoli, was this from Classic Colorworks, was the green in the letters, as well as the little leafy thing down there. Now I was thinking of putting little red berries in, but then I went, oh, that's going to look like holly. Then it's a Christmas piece. It could have been a Christmas piece. Yeah, didn't do that. Buckeye Scarlet. Now this is an absolute beautiful red. I didn't know that this red existed. So I now have another new favorite red. So Buckeye Scarlet from, again, Gentle Arts. I used for the little heart in the middle. Seagull by Weeks Dye Works for the tombstone, except for the little insert stuff. Raven is this dark black green color that I used for all the bottom part of the fence and the bottom row, the little grassy part, the bottom of that part in the tombstone, etc. was Raven. And this color is really pretty. It's a really dark black green. And then Raven. Did I tell you that? Did I tell you the color was called Raven? Gentle Arts. Which I thought was pretty poetic. And then the bird itself is in black licorice. Now I will share, we just picked a random orange. It's probably pumpkin patch or something, and another orange for the top of the candles, and I've got a white creamy for the candlestick. Those were some, and for the cross. Those were so few stitches I just pulled from an active project and the stash. I don't remember which ones. I was going to, but I forgot to write them down. So just pick whatever. But I guess I'm telling you the colors because yes, it was written in 310 black. No, I did not want to do it all in 310 black. You could, it would look very pretty, but we wanted some color. So there we go. So that was my second January finish. Super, super excited. So we are headed over to the lobby of the hobbies to sign those up to get framed. The girls that work there do an absolute fabulous job framing our needlework. They're specifically trained in it, and they do a great job. Works in progress. I did pull out Proverb 31 sampler by Plum Street, and here's that 1/1 section, and I did get another word in. It's either a whole word or it's part of a word. I can't remember where it is at that point. Trying the new techniques in 1/1 that I looked at because I watched several videos. So I'm feeling a little more comfortable with that, and I figure if I get a word a week, it'll be done at some point in time. A word a day. I pulled out the Smith sampler last night. Now the Smith sampler I am doing for my brother and sister. You know what? We're just struggle bus today. Sorry. There we go. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. Smith sampler, Scarlet House. Doing for my brother and sister-in-law. Their 25th anniversary is in October, so I do have a deadline for this. I started in the middle due to the particular piece of fabric that I got. It was cut with narrow edges, and yeah. Plus, I wanted, there's a bit of 1/1. I'm just going to let it sit in the floor. There's a bit of 1/1 due to the name on the basket, which I have to do since their last name is Smith. That's the maiden name. And I am doing it in the DMC. I chose to do the DMC, not the silk, not because it's wonderful that they've been married 25 years, but because it's got That lovely red. And that one. Anyway. And there's on top of my linen. And there's all the things. And I am already running out of steam. I started this back in November. 36 count winter brew. Winter brew. Yeah. Okay. And I already finished what my assignments were, my assignments to me, myself, and I for November and December. So I'm working on my January, which I got the middle basket done. I still have to go back and clean up this 1/1 section. I do not like what it did in some pieces, in some parts. So I'm going to do that later. Oh well. And so I was working up here last night trying to get around the swan outlined, getting ready for just some mindless. I'm trying to get open spots where I can just go and stitch and do nothing. But I had put the swan's body, I'd given it one more extra layer. So after doing some outline, I had to rip out an entire thread worth of stitching. And so, rip it out half the swan, and she is now ready to go again. So, lots of corrections. That's okay. So now she's fixed, and I can keep going. So my assignments for January is to get the swan done and get up to the border and start the top border. And that gets me a good setup to go pick a direction. Probably going to go left. So I've done page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm on page 2, and then I'm going to go back to page 1. Okay. A tiny bit of haul has come in. I'm waiting for some other stuff to come in. I went absolutely shop mad on the stash unloading sites on Facebook. I don't remember. I'm in 2 of them. I remember them because one has a dark picture, one has a light picture right now. The one with the light picture, I think it just says cross stitch stash unload. No, stash unloading, cross stitch only. Yeah, it's got a nice little flower picture. That's the one I've been shopping on lately. It seems to have more of the samplers and linens that I like. So I went mad and bought lots of things. And I'm still waiting for some things to come in. But I was able to get an entire yard of Mad Hatter's Tea Towel by Dames of the Needle. I got a whole yard. I love this fabric. I love this linen. I love the colorway of it. I love the modeling. So I'm going to be able to do lots of things. I did get a red box from Hands Across the Sea. It is in Chicago right now. And so I am stocking up. That's 36 count. And I also got 36 count of R&R reproduction. I just call it the ABC fabric because I can't. If I didn't have the flu, I could probably say it, but I can't read it right now. Abecedarian. So my ABC linen. Again, a nice reproduction sampler brown. Yeah. So I've got some other pattern, some other linen coming from various people. And mail is just slow out of Memphis right now. The ice storm, the snow a few weeks ago Always slows them down. And I also have a couple of patterns coming, but one that has already arrived is Consider the Lilies. So now, from Heart Street Samplery, so now I have both this Consider the Lilies and oh, and that was a half a yard of the R&R. I have Consider the Lilies and His Eyes on the Sparrow. So I was kind of thinking of using the R&R ABC of a Siderian for one of these. But this is a little pinker than the other one. I'm not exactly sold, but plus my lighting. And anyway, so that came in. I had a couple of more patterns that are on order. Things that I don't have access to in the shops that are 2 hours away. Okay, plants. I do have a February piece picked out that I have not started. It is in the Closet of Wonders. It is kitted, and that will be, I'm going to pull that out later today and probably start it. I wanted to do a February Valentine piece, but not wait until the 14th to start it. So, I'm having to stop and breathe every now and again. So, thank you for waiting. So, Blackbird Designs, What Remains is Love. See if I can get that zoomed in. Is what I'm planning to start. Now, this is just a random picture off the internet, off Etsy, but I already have it all kitted, ready to go. I don't remember what fabric I have with it, but that'll be for the next video because I didn't pull it out yet. I'm going to pull it out tonight and see what I can do. I thought that this was very doable in a month. Just looking at it, but once I get into it, then we'll decide. The border looks kind of fun. Looks like a little holly-ish for the border, but that's okay. And what really draws me to this one, you know, I like to figure out what draws me to this, is yes, that big wonky flower in the middle, but plus this kind of little house. So we're not living in a red house right now. Our house is kind of brownish. And so that looks like our color of our current house. So I think that would be a good thing for this year for Valentine's. So I'm going to pull that out. Okay, I'm quickly draining. I'm going to go grab some fluids and get to it for the day. Thank you everyone for your time and hanging out with me a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed your stitching this week. I hope you have fun every day. And if you're getting the flu anytime soon, rest, fluids, it'll be okay. And thanks for watching since we have the flu. Yes, Salem Witch Trials, but sorry, lots of Blippi. Blippi and Miss Rachel and all the things that toddlers like to watch. So we did get to watch Jurassic World. My husband pulled that up for us to watch. My daughter loves dinosaurs. She did not watch that. She's watching Blippi go visit dinosaurs at the museums. And yeah, as a couple of zoos. So, okay. Y'all have fun. Bye.